You better say your prayers, you flea-bitten varmint. I'm gonna blow you to smithereens.
You do that and I'll kill you.
Alrighty, metalheads. Welcome to the Bullshit with Bob show, the early edition, right here on Brutal Metal Radio. Hope everybody's doing good on this beautiful Saturday. And I have, let me see if I can pronounce your name correctly. It's Izakar?
Yes, it's Izakar.
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 Okay.
So.
And he is one of the guitar players from France's Blazing War Machine. Welcome to the show, Izakar.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And we are glad to have you. I know we've been trying to get you guys on the show for a little while, and I think we had you scheduled up before.
Yeah,
yeah,
we had scheduled before, but we put the interview later.
Yeah, I had some family problems. My father passed away, and thank you for rescheduling with us. I really appreciate it.
Okay, there's no problem for us.
Now, you guys are actually out of Marseille.
Yeah.
And I've been overseas before. I've been to Paris and the Palace of Versailles, and well, one of the good things about being in the U.S. Army is you get to go and sightsee. And I've spent quite a little bit of time in Germany. So, with Paris and everything, it was beautiful. What is Marseille like?
Marseille is the very south of France. Close to the Mediterranean Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really big melting pot and a big city with a lot of different people and origin, and with a really good weather. I really like my city. It's really different than Paris, but it's more personal, I don't know if it is a good word, but Paris is really, really big. So in Marseille, you can meet much more people, maybe.
And Paris is more like for tourists anyway.
Yeah, of course.
And I guess Marseille probably would be more like a nice getaway from the big city. Like you said, it's more personal. Probably you get to indulge yourself in more culture.
Yeah, it's exactly what I mean. Yeah, it's not about just touristic, and it's a really big mix of different population, and that's why I really like my town. And you can meet a really different person at the same place.
Oh, right on. Now, how long has Blazing War Machine been a band?
Blazing War Machine began in 2005. So it's almost 8 years now. We began the band at 3. My drummer, Frankie, and Phil, the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
They began to want to develop a project mixing symphonic black metal stuff with power metal, and why not heavy metal and different kind of music and just metal. So we made maybe 2 or 3 years to really find what we wanted to do. So it's about maybe 8 years, and we really defined the project around 2005 or 6.
Well, I know, we listened to a couple tracks first coming in.
Yeah.
And we listened to Manu Militari and Rigor Mortis.
Yeah.
Both of those songs really brutal.
Yeah.
Really brutal. Love it. And everybody in the chat room, I could tell from some of the statements they were making, they love it.
Great. Which one is do you prefer? It's Manu Militari's it's different ideas, and Rigor Mortis is one of the first songs.
Mm-hmm.
Manu Militari came a bit after, but we used to begin every show by rigor mortis, because it's a mix between all we like, symphonic stuff with a bit of power, and like a few punk, maybe a trash punk verses.
Right.
And this is one of the first songs we just composed, just feeling that, oh yes, this is good.
Well, I tell you, I really like Manu Militari.
Yeah, is this the Manu Militari? It's an idea of a really industrial way of composing. It's different than the other. The problem is that maybe you get the. Are you sure this is the good title?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This
oh yes. I like
on
that.
On the CD. Do you get the CD or just 4 songs?
Well, I've got 4 songs. I've got the.
Okay.
They sent me the whole CD, but I was having computer issues earlier, and for some reason it didn't allow me to download all of them. I do have them though.
Because I'm asking that because on some album there are mistake between title, and so I'm not sure the song you're talking about. Military is beginning by like a military snare fill, and it's like we are good boys. This is this one you're talking about, or a more melodic song.
Let's see. That's the more militaristic song. That.
You put it. Yeah.
Let me pull that file back up.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, that was from the 4-pack. It's track number 2 off the 4-pack.
Yeah. Okay. Track number 2. Oh. Okay. I see. This one is one of we are really proud. Manu Militari. This version is as I told you, is like the idea of a general maybe motivating people and his own troops, and in thinking of his own situation.
Okay.
And we wanted to be really brutal and really industrial, adding some samples of different kind of army, and just give the idea of the brutality and the mayhem in the in the mind of the guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, you achieved it, because that is one brutal song.
Yeah.
and it comes across very well, with that whole militaristic outlook.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We wanted to fit with that, and the premise that when every song is really brutal, but some have to be different, to be to much more into the lyrics and the idea of the songs. Rigor mortis is different because it's much more about a morbid idea and a living dead idea maybe sometimes, and military is about brutality, and I'm glad you like that. That's one of the songs we really work on stage because everybody is following the band. That's why we put it on the 4 tracks. We know that this is the song we like.
Now, I've got Vixen in the chat room, and she's saying that she loves I Love Swamp, Stagnant Memories.
Yeah.
So we're going to play that one here in a little while.
Okay,
we'll take a break after a while, and then I'll play some more music.
Okay.
But now, when you guys do the songwriting, is there like one main songwriter that everybody else pitches in, or does the whole band get involved with songwriting?
we try to have the whole band get involved. It's not that easy because to have a clear idea of what a song can be, it's true that one of the members of the band have to walk along and propose something to the band, and if the band agree, we try to make something that everybody love. But it happens that sometimes there is only one riff coming from somebody, and everything go very fast on rehearsal. That's how we did the Swamp, because this is the first song we wrote, and we made it in only 1 or 3 hours, because the first riff was really catchy for us. I find the guitar riff on the keyboards in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And yeah, but sometimes it go like that. Sometimes you expect 1 month on a riff, and sometimes it just come when you rehearsal. And that's most of the time when that happens. This is a good song. So we try to refine that way of composing, and because it's not that easy. And the spontaneity of a song like Swamp is something that I really like, because this is only one idea. Okay, you like that, I like that, I put that on that, and everything is working alone. You just have to discuss with your drummer. You know what to do, and when the note comes from the keyboards, I know what to do with my guitar, and lyrics used to come after, but sometimes only 2 notes inspire the singer. So we are not the kind of band that have one composer. Everybody could be a composer, and everybody could bring an idea that all the band will think about it. We are not composing this album and asking us that kind of question. And even if it's not really easy, we really wanted that all the influence of the band could be in the album, because there is a lot of different influence. I'm much more into power metal. Frankie and the keyboard are really into black symphonic metal, and the other guitar player is much more into heavy metal, and we try to mix it to do something good and hearable, and something that we like, you know, and that will please to everybody.
You know, I'm glad how you guys do that. A lot of the times when a band has just one writer, it gets kind of stagnant. You know what I mean? All the music starts sounding the same, and when you have the whole band involved writing, it's always fresh.
I totally agree with you. This is what I want for my band. Yes. And it's not that easy, but this, you know, is fresh, yes, because doing what we already did, it's not really interesting. I'm interested in doing better or different stuff, or mixing different stuff that people like in the first album, and adding new stuff to refresh the music. I totally agree.
You know, it's also a good thing. I like the way you guys, you know, mix the different genres, because I say this time and time again, every interview I do. I think everyone is really kind of getting sick with the subgenres. You know, you get stuck or pigeonholed in being just a death metal band, or just a black metal band, or just a power metal band. You know, recently, especially within the last couple of years, I've been noticing a lot of bands, they have a core sound. They may be a death metal or black metal band mainly, but they're not scared to, or maybe scare is the wrong term, they're not afraid to jump out and grab, you know, a power metal riff and a melodic metal riff and a prog metal riff, and mix it all together for a much larger sound. And I applaud you guys for doing that.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. You know, it's not that easy, because the music has to be, I don't know the word, but maybe coherent, or have to be, the music has to be really understandable. So if you just go into power metal and black metal and heavy metal too fast on the same song, on the same riff, you will lose the audience. The challenge is to do that with keeping the audience into the song.
Now, I also noticed you guys throw a little bit of groove, like the groove thrash style of riffs in your music too. And I must say I'm a big fan of groove metal. And I think it complements what you guys are doing very well.
Thank you. But we didn't try to do it this way, but it happens. And that's cool because it's hard to have some groove into that kind of music, because everybody, all the producer push you to format it and do it, really straight. And I'm glad that you find some groove in our music, because it's really, really hard to put that groove. But I got a really good drummer, and I think it really helps.
Saying that with the drummer, you got to have a drummer that's willing to back out, because there's a lot of drummers out there. I've known quite a few throughout the years, and they get overzealous when they're playing, and they want to overplay everything. They want to continually stay on the double bass and doing these 64th note rolls and things like that, and you just can't do that. It's nice for people to jump back and put a groove to some stuff. I mean, look at Dave Lombardo and Slayer.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those groove riffs, when he backs out a little bit, will make you snap your neck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The grooves make you snap your neck. Yeah. I totally agree. And sometimes I think maybe in our music we need to remove some stuff, or maybe do it a bit, don't put too much details, but the drumming part have to be rich. The problem in our kind of music that if we don't put everything on the drummer, it's gonna be like kick drums during all the album. And with my drummer, we try to have that aggressivity of kick drums, but sometimes removing stuff and do simple stuff to really have people follow the rhythm and really get into the song.
Back in the day, I think it was Exhorter and Pantera that kind of both brought me into that groove aspect. Yeah. They taught me about opposites, and both bands would play something really fast and then almost halftime it and put that groove in there, and it's like whiplash right there. It's like you're going 1,000 miles an hour in a car, and then instantly you're going 20. And it makes you just sit there and bob that head and get in the pit and want to hurt people.
Yeah.
And you just can't go wrong with the groove.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Let me ask you, early on, what influenced you? Was there a certain band or musician that influenced you and made you want to pick up a guitar?
Yeah, I'm really influenced by Gelder from Dimmu Borgir.
Oh, right on.
Because this is a guitar player that I really love the style. And as a guitar player, I was performing in a band before, a French band called Dagoba, and we develop a Pantera style sometimes. And as a guitar player, I'm a fucking big fan of Pantera, and I got this influence, and I got a Fear Factory influence too, in my guitar playing, in the way that I really fit to the drum part. Excuse my English. I know it's not really good.
Oh man, you're doing very well, man. You're doing very well.
Thank you. So in a way, I tried to, with Blazing War Machine, I mixed all. I like to play thrash metal sometimes, And when it's the good time, I like to play like Fear Factory with the kick drums. And if I got the space in my music, I can do something much more like Panthera. The good thing with Blazing War Machine that I don't have any, barrier. I don't know the real word, but I can play almost what I want because I know that everybody will love it in the band. And I try to put in my guitar playing the influences from very different music. Playing black metal means playing sometimes more notes. Playing a Fear Factory style or Indus metal means less notes, and thrash metal means sometimes just fast.
Yeah.
So I like to move to that different kind of stuff in the same song to give the feeling of every style.
And like I said, I think you guys accomplished that greatly. Now, I got to ask you. You said your other band is Dagobah.
Hmm?
I've heard of you guys. Yeah, I've heard of you guys before. The name from that band, of course, everyone should know is Yoda's Planet.
Yeah, of course.
So are you guys like big Star Wars fans?
I do. I am. Yeah.
Right on. I am too.
Yeah, but you have to understand that I'm not anymore in Dagobah. I left the band this summer.
Oh, okay.
So I was during 13 years. So this is not my band anymore, but this was a big part of my life before.
Oh, right on. Well, that's all I want to touch on that about. I just saw the name and wanted to bring that up about the Star Wars fan. Now Blazing War Machine. You guys got any shows coming up?
Yeah, we got maybe almost 10 shows in France. This is headlining. So this is the beginning for us to do headlining far from home. We got show in France, in Switzerland too.
Oh, right on.
We're planning to have in Belgium too. And we got a big show in Marseille. And so we work on it because it's our sound.
Now.
And we are looking for a big tour with a big band or an opening act. Right.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting bumped in the back over here. I wanted to bring up, you said, you're talking about the black metal sound, and, if you think about it, there's really two different types of black metal. There's like the mayhem, at least in my mind there is. There's a symphonic black metal like your Demu.
Yeah.
And then there's the what I call the noisy side, which is like mayhem and bands like that.
Mm.
And
yeah,
I am much more
the true side, maybe in France.
Yeah, right. But I'm more of a fan of the symphonic. I think it captures more of the classical feel of music.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm more into the symphony too. Blazing War Machine is really influenced by Demu. We don't hide it. That's true. We like that band, and we are influenced. But we liked sometimes the noisy feeling of the true black metal, like Mayhem or. I'm not a big fan of Burzum and all the Lord of Chaos. This is not my kind of stuff. But there is something in that kind of music, something really true, something really strong that is interesting sometimes, because the true black metal can put a really insane atmosphere in the music, and that could be interesting. And in my point of view, I prefer the symphonic black metal because it's much more musical, and I like to write complicated music sometimes. But both could be into Blazing War Machine. The main idea is to be symphonic, but it could be maybe one time we will try something true to see if we can have this insane atmosphere for maybe one intro or outro. You know, we'll see.
Well, I'm getting some feedback from the chat room. I've got a lady in there named Buddy Cat. She wants to know when Blazing War Machine will invade the U.S.
Why not? Yeah, of course, we're really interested into going USA, but the problem is that from France it's really hard, and it's not that easy to tour a new country. But I think if people ask for us, and if we can find a big tour there, we will go. And I don't really know if the United States is really into black metal or not, or into that kind of music. It's a bit new for me to have feedback from there about that music. So it seems like, yep, there's somebody that could like it, and we have no plan to go to United States now, but as soon as possible we will do it.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of fans of black metal here.
Okay.
Demu has toured here plenty of times. Cradle has as well. Old Man's Child, you know, of course, Galder.
Yeah, of course.
That's more, you know, more death metal, but you know, it's kind of black metal, death metal. Of course, we have Goat Whore from here. You know, and yeah, I mean, people here love black metal, and Vixen just put in there she's going to talk to a friend from a entertainment agency about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, because from France it's hard to know, and I hope we will find a way to get to your country, and the good thing is that now with the internet, everybody could listen to our music, and that's the first step for me. You know, Blazing War Machine is a total auto production. So if we want to go to United States, we will find a way by ourselves.
Right.
So we'll see.
But yeah, Vixen, you're right. She mentioned Watain.
Yeah.
Also, you know, we have Cult of Azazel here, and they're just sick.
What?
Cult of Azazel. They're a band from a black metal band from Florida.
Yeah, Vatin. Yeah, I know them.
Yeah. Those guys are just sickly insane.
Yeah, they're insane. I heard a lot of stuff about that band, and they did a lot of mess at the big French festival called the Hellfest, and so they're known by the fact much more than the music. That I'm not that kind of guy. I'm sorry. I prefer to be done by the music.
I understand.
I don't have to cut throat of any pigs now, but you know, it's a part of the black metal too. So it's a part of the legend, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I used to talk to the guitar player from Cult of Azazel, Zaphin, quite a bit, and yeah, they're pretty crazy.
He's pretty crazy too. Yeah.
Now, I spoke with another band out of Paris, actually. When was that? 2 weeks ago?
Couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it's been about 2 weeks. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're called Dead Cowboy Sluts.
Dead Cowboy Sluts. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. It's from Paris?
Yeah, the band's from Paris.
Band's from Paris.
I'll have to send you the link. Guys, they're pretty good. They're real big fans of Pantera. They have they're in that kind of style. And these guys, they're also crazy. They have a drink they made. You're familiar with a Jaeger bomb, right?
Yeah.
They have one called a cola bomb.
A what?
A cola bomb. And
Cola.
a cola bomb. They make a big glass of Jack Daniels and drop a shot glass of Coke in it and swallow it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should say it wouldn't take too many of them to get you going.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
But they say 20 minutes later you're drunk as piss.
Yeah, about 20 minutes you're drunk as hell.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh. Now, well, what kind of gear do you use? Your equipment?
I use a Schecter guitar. Maybe you know that brand.
Uh-huh.
It's I think it's American. I've got an endorsement with them, and I use Hungarian amps called Silver Blade. It's not really now, but this is really fucking good gear, and I don't use 7-string or stuff, new stuff like 7 or 8 strings or big amps. I like to use a real guitar. We are tuning a bit down to sound more, low, and you know why. I'm using small amps, but big distortion, and I like to play flying guitar.
Oh, right on.
I got an Explorer too, and all the band. I can describe you all the gear if you like, but it's gonna take a lot of time.
Well, we got time. Just to let you know, I'm a guitar player as well.
Yeah.
And been playing off and on now for about 27 years.
Yeah.
And like you, I play in straight C in my band.
Yeah.
We tune down to C, and I use Jackson guitars. I do own a Schecter. I won a Schecter at a show. It's a Diamond Series Griffin, which
Okay.
I think it's a Hellraiser now.
Hellraiser. I got a Hellraiser Diamond Series too.
But this was before they came out with the Hellraiser. I won this guitar back in 2007.
Yeah, it's a previous model. It's a prototype, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's a beautiful guitar. It plays great. I love the sounds, and in the volume switch you can pull it out.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Two gain level.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it gives you like I think 2 dB, 5 dB, something like that of gain.
Mm.
It really really sweet.
Is this EMG pickups?
No, they're just plain stock, whatever came with it.
Okay. Because I'm a big fan of EMG pickups. The 81 is so great for doing metal, I think.
Oh, yes,
it fits to me, but it depends of your taste.
Now, what I want to do, I've got a Jackson X Warrior. It's the WRXT model. It's like the mid series. It came with Duncan Invaders, and it's got the Seymour or the Floyd Model 2 whammy on it.
Yeah.
I want to take the Invaders out and put the EMG 8185 actives in it.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I love EMG sounds, and when I went to buy that guitar, they had one out at the time that had the 8185 setup, and it had a pull switch in it as well that gave you a 10 dB boost. So when you were going into a solo, you could pull that switch and it boosts you up 10 dB without worrying about a volume pedal.
10 dB, it's a lot of dB, but why not? I'm not doing a lot of solo, but for lead guitar sometimes it could be helpful. And I know that the EMG do a lot of different kind of pickups and preamp on the guitar. So that's a kind of preamp you have. This is really interesting. And do you know the 89? Because I got 89 EMG, which in the same pickups you got one single coin and one double coin, and 81 and a single coin in the same pickups.
Oh wow!
So with a push pull, I use that because sometimes if I need a clean sound, I prefer it in a single coin. So I have that on the Schecter. I can turn it to double coin to a single coil just with the push up. You do with the pull, pulling the button. You know that. Don't you know that system? Push pull.
I'm used. I'm familiar with the push pull, but I'm not used with that. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the 89. But I know.
Yeah, it's a different system, but it works almost the same. Yeah.
Now, would that be in the neck or in the bridge position?
Bridge. For distortion, bridge is more precise, and the 81 in bridge is really precise. You can have harmonics and really easy, and for to have a really straight and really tight playing, I think the bridge is it's cool because I use the neck one for the clean, or sometimes when I want to sound a bit noisy, I use the neck. But I'm not a big fan of flowered roses. I prefer tune-o-matic bridges with a big 81. I know that works for me.
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the Model 1 Floyds. I like the Model 2s. If you remember back in the day, when Jackson first came out with the, Floyd bought the patent, but it originally was the Model 2. I love the ones that Jackson's had. Yeah. Because you could slap it, and like Brad Gillis on... you could hear his lead playing on "Speak of the Devil," and you can slap the whammy, and it does this kind of sound. And I always loved that. And the Model 2 Floyd I have on my Jackson, it does that.
Yeah.
It does pretty good with staying in tune, also.
Yeah, that's the problem with Floyd was, and staying in tune is not that easy. You have to have a really good flowered rose to keep in tune, and to be true, I get rid of every of my flowered rose because I don't really need it on stage, and it was really when you tour every day and you tour a lot, you have to change your string every day or every show, and with a flood rose, I was losing a lot of time, and it was much more easy with a tune-o-matic and maybe a Spergzel machine head, Yeah, that's really cool because with a tune-o-matic and a Spergzel machine head, I can turn all the string in 1/4.
Yeah, and, that's the one thing about a Floyd. If you pop a string, you're going to be retuning for a while.
Yeah, and that's really stressy on stage.
Oh yes, it is. And
are you doing stage work? Are you doing show?
Not at the moment. The last show I played was last June. Actually, we had a metal fest in Alabama, and our band got up there and we played just a few songs. We ended the show, and that was really the last one. About to get another band going though. Looking at I think I want to try doing something in more of a doom stoner metal kind of a band.
Okay.
The one I was doing, our band was called Gutter Sludge, and we had that New Orleans sound, kind of like Crowbar and Down and Acid Bath and bands like that. But but we were also kind of thrashy on the same.
Yeah. I can see.
But yeah, after the show, I'll get your email if you want. I'll send you some of them songs over. You can check them out if you like them.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But anyways, now talking about your gear, do you use any kind of effects?
Any what? Sorry?
Any kind of effects?
FX. No, I'm not I like to put some effects in studio, but for now, I record the first album without any effects, except a small delay of on one solo. I didn't put any effects, but for the next album, I wanted to put some. The I like sometimes to have a clean sound for intro, or and so adding some chorus and delay could be cool. And as I told you, I'm a big fan of Panthera, so maybe I will add some whammy bar. But the music of Blazing War Machine is already full of effects from everywhere, from the sequences, from the keyboards. So I don't want to put too much stuff into the music. If I do too much effect, I will block the work of maybe the keyboards or the sequences. You know, we program a lot of stuff. So if guitar has to be in the good place in the music for Blazing War Machine.
Right.
I will try to add some effects, but I wanted to write the effects and the parts with the sequences, so everything could really fit. It's not that easy because I'm not a big solo player. I'm not a soloist. I really specialize myself into rhythm and play tight. And so if I had to add effects, I really wanted to sound industrial, or maybe just to add the symphonic stuff. This is hard to find a good way to put effects on the guitar on Blazing War Machine, to don't over, or
you don't want to overdo it, right?
Yeah, I think you understand, because when you're doing music with two guitar players, a keyboard, a drummer will really like to do fills, and you add sequences and samples. If everybody is doing too much stuff, the music could be too. There's going to be too much into the music, and people will not really like something. If I write something on the sequences, I want to be really good, and I want all the music to go in the same way. It's hard with that kind of project to avoid everybody to go a different way too much. We like to go in different way, but it has to be really hearable, and that's not easy when you play 2000 BPM.
Back in the day, I used to be an anti-effects Nazi. I mean, I could not stand them. I didn't even use the reverb on my amp. I went completely dry. And, it was my way. I was a teenager, and it was my way of going against authority, kind of, I was underground, and, that's back when thrash was just coming out. And it was like, fuck the corporate record labels and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
But through the years, like now, I have a Line 6 amp. I have the Spider 3 HD 150 head, and I may not necessarily play a bunch of effects live, but I do like being able to explore effects. One main one I've always used, and this was so you don't get that dropout like you would on live, but on when we were playing live, my rhythm guitar player could still play the rhythms, and if there was a spot, like I had a melody and I wanted to harmonize it, I'd always pop my harmonizer on, and that way we'd still have the heavy riff, with still sound like, two guitars playing the harmony.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really shy away from playing a lot of effects live. I may throw a little bit of reverb depending on how big the place is we're playing. Maybe a little delay here and there, but that's about it.
Yeah, but so we saw the same way.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good thing because putting too much effects is not really professional. I think you have to put the good effects and do something really unique at every effects is not that easy. And you find something with the harmonized and. That could be interesting, but if you do it every time, you're not going to be interesting after.
No, it gets boring quick.
Yeah. But sometimes effects could create something new.
Mm-hmm.
And with a big amp like you have a lot of possibilities, and maybe too much. I think that's why I'm not really into that kind of amp. I prefer, really tube, straight tube amp, and only one sound or two songs. With a line thing like you have, I think maybe it's much more for a soloist. No.
Well, there's a lot of good clean sounds on it too.
Yeah. Okay.
You can get like you can get rockabilly, almost like that Elvis and Johnny Cash sound out of it. And sometimes I used to crank it up and I would drive my ex-wife crazy because I would play stuff really loud, like on 11, and really high-pitched acoustic stuff. Ching, 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 ching. She's like, stop that shit.
That's really working good with that hand. Yeah, I didn't thought you can have acoustic stuff with that kind of hand.
Oh yes, they've got so many different stuff in there. I've even harmonized the acoustics before, and it sounds pretty wild. I would boost it up an octave, playing a fifth, and it sounds almost like putting a capo on the neck. It's pretty cool sounding.
Yeah.
It like you said, it opens up all kind of possibilities. It gives you a chance to explore, and you never know when that next riff's going to come from. And you might write something you think is kind of stupid sounding. And you record it down and go back and listen to it. It's like, damn, that does sound pretty cool. I might have to use that on something.
Yeah, that could happen with that kind of amp. Yeah, I use a G major electro, from TC Electronics.
Mm-hmm.
That brand. I use a G major with my amp too, but only to control the volume and. The tuning, and sometimes add a few stuff. So if I get much more into my G major, I can do really weird stuff, and sometimes it's interesting, but it's hard to manage with hazard and what you want it to do. Sometimes it just happens something with effects. And it's good, and sometimes you will spend a night setting everything, and you don't find a way to do what you want. So that's why I get rid of all my effect on stage for now. And that's to be true. That's also because it's more easy to set on stage when you have one character to do a festivals and to set all the stage. It's much more easy when you have a less effect. And less stuff to plug. If the music don't need it, I would not get bored plugging everything before going on stage, or ask my technician to do it and spend all the day doing that. I prefer him to spend the time on my guitar to be in tune and so I can go everywhere and do all the mess I want on stage. Than having a lot of effects on a pedal board. I tried, but it cost me a lot of problem on stage.
And you got a good point there too, because a lot of people use rack system effects, and I mean, if you get a bad cable somewhere in the mix, and you're at a festival type event, you have anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to play. Your time is very limited. If you got to spend all that time chasing down a bad wire in the back of a rack unit, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, that's really true. I know that kind of problem. I don't want to be fucked on stage, and that's really stressy when you have to go on stage in front of a lot of people, and you are fucked up by just small cables who just walk bad. That's exactly the case. I experiment that at the beginning, and I get rid of it because this is the important stuff is to be really into the show and not into your cables. This is really stressy with gear. That's why I choose a really a gear that will work every day the same with the sound I like. And at the beginning, I was looking for different stuff and difficult stuff, and at the end, I think just when I play the riff, I don't need to put a lot of stuff around it. If the riff is good and I'm really into, the gigs will be good. And that's not about the gear or sometimes in Blazing War Machine now we use really small gear because it's easy to tour and it sounds the same. We use 50 watts amp, and we used two a 212 inches speaker, not a 4 cab, not a big cab, just 2 speaker. It's okay. It sounds the same. You only put 1 mic or 2 at the maximum on stage, so you don't need to bring a big gear and backline. And we choose to use that kind of amp, and we had a contract with Silverblade, and they provide us through amp for everybody, and that kind of amp, I can set my amp in 10 minutes, and my amp will work. Everything is gonna work in 10 minutes. Amps, guitar, gate, and tuning. I can be set in 10 minutes, and that's really, that give me more time to be into the gigs.
Yep. And you got another great point there too, because that's called like a twin combo. The amp you're speaking of, right? The 212s is. I mean, a lot of people go to these shows and they bring a half stack or a full stack, and 9 times out of 10, your amplifier is going to be mic'd.
Yeah.
You're going to be running to the PA. So. And you bring that the little small 50-watt amp on stage, and actually you can hear it better because it's still, it's lower to the ground, so you'll be able to get in front of it and hear yourself better on stage from the back as well as the monitor, and you don't have to lug all that shit around.
I understand, and to avoid this problem as well, we used to put everything inside. We don't put the amp in front because when it's small venue, if you put everything in front, you're not gonna be in the PA. And my drummer is a fucking eater. He really strike the drums really strong. And sometimes we don't put overheads too. And it happens because he likes, he's the kind of drummer who like to do blast beat on the China, cymbals. So you can imagine the mess on stage. I lost my left ear.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, so this is really noisy, and so we take the habit of putting everything inside because it's cleaning the sound in front. And if the monitor is not good, I can do my own monitor myself. Because my amp is not far from me, is not in my back, is just I just have to take the button and push it more if I want to hear more. And it's more easy to manage with that on stage. You know, when you're on stage, you have to, please people, enjoy yourself, and don't think about the gear.
Right.
Even if I'm a big gear fan, when I'm on stage, I don't want to have the mind, locked in the possibly or have a problem with the gear. I'm fucking paranoid about that, so I try to have the best gear to be really into my gigs because I feel better on stage like that.
Yeah, when you go on stage, you want to have a stress-free environment. That's for sure. The last thing you want to be thinking about is if your gear's going to go down.
Yeah, this is the worst thing that could happen. That happened to me a lot of times because sometimes shit happens, and this is the worst stage souvenir of my life when my gear just fall up, my hand burn up, or my string broke up. I can tell you one story that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was beginner. I get on stage with Dagoba, and at the last song, I broke a string after fifth song, so I took the spare guitar. So after that, I took the spare guitar, and on the last riff, I broke another string. So it was the beginning. I hadn't any guitar tech, or nobody can help me. So I was there on stage, waiting for the end of the song with no guitar to do. So I began to stage jam, stage dive, and I do it maybe 5 times. So it was in French we said a moment of solitude, like doing stage diving all the time, waiting for the song and the gigs to stop. But it was the minutes was like an hour for me.
Wow, I bet it
Because
was.
I was like on stage with no guitar, with no string, with nothing. Since this day, I'm really prudent with gear.
I remember my very, very first show. We played at the zoo in Baton Rouge. Oh yeah, it was a horror show. I was part of what's called an explorer post, and what that is like Boy Scouts. Once you turn 18, you're no longer in Boy Scouts, and you're in what's called an explorer post. And what this one was it was all musicians. And and we were putting on this thing, this little, it was like a 1-day show. We had, I think, 7 bands playing, and all different kinds of music. They had classic rock, they had a country band, a couple of rock bands. We were the heaviest. And it was our very first show ever. I think we were 16 at the time. And we get up on stage, and my other guitar player, we had tuned, we had changed strings the night before, and we had tuned, and we practiced all night because we were ready to go play.
Yeah.
And we get up there, and the first thing he does is he pops a string. So, like I said, this is our very first show, so we're all up there just scared shitless. And, the string popping made it worse. Then we had to retune, and that took like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We called that La Tunica. That was the song we wrote that night, or that day, La Tunica. But yeah, we finally got to where we played. Oh, damn, excuse me. And where we were right next to the gazelle cage. And they stopped us midway through the show because we were playing really loud, and the gazelles were banging their head against the fence.
Yeah.
They were going crazy. But yeah, that was our very first show. We got up there and tuned for 10 minutes.
That's a bad souvenir too for you. Yeah. That's good happen. If people hear us, if you go on stage for your first show, take care of that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I understand.
Now you were saying you guys you guys tune down. What do y'all tune to?
We are tuning a step after C. No, sharp. I think it's sharp C.
Oh, C sharp.
Yeah, C sharp. I think.
Right on.
Yeah, it's at the beginning it was because I was in two different bands, so it was easiest for me to just down the first string, you know, the E, the normal E, to down it, or put or have it up. You know, in Blazing War Machine, I play a regular, you know, style of guitar with power chord, with you know, like you play a normal guitar. It's not an open tuning or a drop tuning. It's a normal tuning, but a bit down. You know, sharp C.
That's what we play in is in C. We're a half step lower, but we tune standard. So it would be like you're tuning in A or E standard, but it's just down in C. And yeah. I've tried playing, you know, back in the day, you know, drop D and stuff like that, and I just never cared for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like making power chords, and I'm pretty fast with it. I can get them all over the place.
Yeah, but it depends the music you have to play, or I like to play both. I've got a lot of baritone guitar too, to play really low or really down, you know.
Right.
And but I like to play a regular, you know, tuning too, because this is the first thing I learned, and I'm easy on a lot of different tuning. It depends the music I have to do. If we have a song, if we write a song who needs a really low down tuning, I can do it, and but we like to write everything in the same tuning because it's more easy on stage, and as well as we talk. Down tuning is interesting, but it depends. It's really different the music you have to do. I think with the sharp C, we find something that is not that common because people used to be in C or B drop, or so sharp C is I don't know. I don't know a band who really played that song, and I'm glad because having that note, that low note, which is a sharp C, it made the sound, made the sound of Blazing a bit different. If you put the album and go to another album of another band, it will sound a bit different because the note is not the same. And this is not this is a sharp, and maybe that's why it's nobody choose it. And because it's weird, you know, it's like from the down to the I, it's like sharp C, and then sharp F, and then B, and then E, and then sharp G, and sharp C, you know. So it's a bit weird on the tuning, on the tuner when you tune your guitar. But I like to be between two notes. It's not easy to understand, but maybe you understand what I mean.
No, I understand exactly what you mean. It gives it a fresh, again, going back to this, it gives it a fresh sound. Because, I mean, you listen to a lot of, like Carcass and bands like that. They tune in C, like you said.
Yeah.
I had a 7-string Jackson, and it was a Christian Old Wolbers model from Fear Factory.
Yeah, I know. I met him once.
From what I understand, he's a pretty cool guy.
That was not a good experiences for us because there was some mistake, but some problem with the tour manager on this night. But I didn't really talk with him, just say hi. And it was the day we performed with Fear Factory in Amsterdam 10 years ago.
Wow. But yeah, I had his 7-string, and I've never been a fan of 7s.
Yeah.
Well, you know, back in the early 90s, you know, Korn really the ones that brought the 7 strings back.
Yeah.
Everybody was buying Ibanez 7 strings. And to me, I've tried playing on them. I had friends that bought them. They play death metal, and that's all they play, 7 strings, because it's in B naturally.
Yeah.
And they've got me to play them, and I swear it's like playing a piece of lumber. It's like a board, this real thick board.
If you don't need it, you don't need that fucking string sometimes.
No.
It's being too down don't fit with every music, and the down you go, the less you are really tight. That's one of the problem. I know some kind of band reach a really tightness like Meshuggah, and they play really down. But it's a unique band,
right?
And I'm not a big fan of 7 string or 8 strings. When I asked that question to myself, I choose baritone guitar. You know what is it? It's everything is a bit longer. The neck it's maybe 2 centimeters longer, but it's the same number of frets.
Right.
I got a lot of ESP guitar like that because I'm a big fan of ESP too, and it helps you keep in tune with a regular tuning, and it helps keep in tune with a 6 string, and you can go really down with that kind of guitar, and it's really in tune. The problem at the beginning for me was to play down with a normal guitar. So when I look at the video on stage, and when I unbrief everything, I was looking and said, I'm not really in tune. I don't know why. And I find what the problem is like when you're moving on stage with the wrong instrument, you're not in tune. So I choose baritone guitar. So with a big strings, I use I don't know if it's the same side in your country, but it's 0.62 on the biggest string. So you can have a lot of tension. You can control what you do, even if you're really low. Because for me, this is the main problem. Playing low and down tuning, it don't help to be in tight, and I like to be in tight in my music. So I tried different kind of string and different size and different tension, and to find a good balance with everything, and to can have my stage move like I wanted to do, and don't think about breaking string or stuff like that. This is 10 years of research.
Hey, I totally understand where you're coming from. Believe me. With a lot of people may not understand this out there that are not musicians, but when you take a 6-string guitar and you tune it down, and say you use like a 9 gauge or a 10 gauge string, you're going to be, and you drop it down as low as we're playing, like C sharp, the strings will be very loose.
Yeah.
And your picking won't be as good. Now, I've always been a big fan of Ernie Ball strings. And when I first started playing, I used to use the Super Slinkies. That was a 9 gauge set. Well, I'm using some now. They're a hybrid. They're called Beefy Slinkies. And they're thicker gauge, and they're really made to be down-tuned, especially if you're using a whammy bar. Because it gives you the same tension, like I get the same tension being in C as I would having a 9 gauge set tuned to A440, A standard.
Okay.
And it allows my my whammy to float properly, plus I can play tight. And you got
that's the same kind of research I did. I use skull strings. Do you know that brand? Skull strings.
I'm not familiar with that one.
No, I think it's not a big brand, but they do strings for metalhead. It's only for metal, and they do all the kind of big gauge you can find for 7, for baritone guitar, for 8, for a lot of different kind of tuning. And I had the luck of having a custom, custom on that brand. So they do the string I need, and that's fucking great because the problem. So I just asked for what I want, and they gave me, so I can have the tension I want. So this is a really good brand. If you don't know it, you have to have a look on it. It's called a Skull String. And it's really for metalhead.
I will check that out for sure. Skull Strings.
Skull String, easy to remember.
Oh yes, very easy.
And you will see the logo is a skull, so you will see that for you.
It kind of sells itself then. Damn, I don't know. About to spit up a lung here again. Let's see, I want to put out some links for you. Blazing War Machine, of course, you guys are on Facebook. You have a Reverb Nation, and I'm sure Vixen has all the links, and I'll have her pop them up here in just a second in the chat room. You guys have a .com?
Yeah, I think it is blazingwarmachine.com. I think they're a website, yeah. Of course.
Right on. And you have a MySpace, anything like that?
Yeah, we got a MySpace too, but I'm not the guy who really handles that. And my drummer is doing everything about that. And I think the MySpace is not really, updated. The Facebook is much more updated now. And the website, I think the website is okay, but since a few years, everybody is turned to Facebook.
Yeah.
And, so as I told you, we are a total auto production, so we focus on Facebook. And Frankie, my drummer, is doing the promotion and booking gigs and speaking with people. I am much more the guy who walk in the back for the gigs. So I'm not really on the internet a lot of time. It will be more easy to speak with my drummer, Frankie, or my bass player to speak with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's no problem. Yeah, in fact, Vixen was mentioning something about the bass player wasn't going to be there today, and she was giving him some a little bit of trouble about it.
I'm sorry, he's in Spain now.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, "Oh, I'm not going to be on the show. I'm in Spain." She's like, "What?"
Yeah, he's a strange guy. Sometimes it just surprised me. I was thinking he would be here too, but he's still in Spain. So he will be back. I think he's back tomorrow and just doing a mess with dates. And we had today we had a problem with the speaker of the computer. So I'm here with the singer Irina, and I'm the only one to speak because we only have headphones. And I'm sorry about that. I would like to have all the band, but with all the band, it's going to be hard to have a real discussion too.
Oh, it's no problem at all. No problem. Now you said you guys were working on a CD right now.
Composing. Yeah, we rehearsal to compose it, and same time we rehearsal for the show. This is a working process, and we try to do better than the first album, and try to do to keep what what we really love in this album. And I think for the next album, the biggest step is to remove the influences and just be much more our music, you know.
Right.
I know the first album is, really like it, I'm proud of it, but every comments of professional is that this is too much like that kind of band, or too much like maybe Dimmu Borgir. Sometimes people really think we copy something, but we don't really want to copy something. I think for doing the second album, we have to really make a style, metal, you know, a kind of metal that is only ours, mixing all the influence I said, and we will mix all the maybe more industrial sometimes. We're working on some industrial songs, like maybe a bit like Rob Zombie or stuff like that, but it's not definitive. We're trying different way to really make a song that is really ours. I don't want to sound like another band. No, I know that the band could do a lot of stuff. I know that a lot of people could love it, and now I wanted to have my song. And that's not that easy.
No, it's not easy doing something like that, because there's only 12 notes on the neck of a guitar.
Yeah, of course, and everybody has already used it.
Exactly.
So you really understood what I mean. I'm glad that you a real musician and you understood everything, because it is not easy to explain that. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, that do the same. It's okay." Yeah, or no. I think this is too much like this band or like this band. I don't want to sound like somebody. I want to sound just sound, and it's hard. Mixing influence is the good way, but you have to do something different with influences. I don't want to put a riff like that. Then after that, okay, we do the thrash riff. Then after that, we do the indus riff. No, I want the music to be created, mixing everything at the same times. And that's why we're composing a lot, and we throw a lot of stuff away. Never mind. If I have to compose 100 songs to have 10, I will. You know, composing is a weird process in a band. We are looking for different kind of purpose, you know, of aim, and we are now finding it. You know, it's this interview came at the moment that we ask all that question to the band. What we wanted to do for the next album. Okay, you wanted to do that, I want you to do that. So mix everything to do a real personal song. And that for me, this is the main idea. Doing what we like and what people like from us, but to make something unique. And then, because I like that kind of stuff, I don't like the band who really just sound the same as another. Even if I'm a fucking fan of Pantera, if somebody redo Pantera, it never be Pantera, you know. And if Dimmu Borgir is inspiring us, I don't want to sound like them too. This is an inspiration. This is not the way I wanted to do the band. And if Cradle of Fist has good stuff, I want to put that in my music and make it mine.
Right.
It's really hard, because it's a lot of questioning and a lot of, sometimes you spend a night writing a song and you throw it, you just trash it after that. But anyway, this is the way I love to work. I love to produce a lot of different songs, and we are in that process, you know. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Now you guys are getting the music together.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the interview, doing the music together to create something personal and not something consensual or something. I really don't want to sound like another band. I think the way to be a big band and to be a good musician is to create something new.
Yeah, and it's very difficult, like we were saying, being unique,
Mm,
coming up with original ideas. It's very, very difficult.
yeah,
And sometimes you come up with riffs, and I'm sure you've done it. I've done it plenty of times. You'll come up with a riff and be like, "Damn, I've heard that before."
yeah.
And before you know it, it's like, "Oh shit, I heard this the other day as a Van Halen riff," or
Shit.
whatever.
Oh shit.
But
Yeah, sometimes it's happen. You wrote something and you just discover that you wrote something that already exists, and that's why you like it.
yeah,
That's the
exactly.
when that's the problem. But sometimes that's the good thing when that happen is that when you're in a band with 6 people, something which sounds like common, like usual, could be really different if somebody of the band had have a fresh eye on it, have a
Hmm.
fresh look on it. Sometimes we do Fear Factory stuff like really tight stuff, kick drums and guitars same times, and we said, oh yes, this is good, but it's already exists. You can it's like you can find five numbers at the hazard,
Right.
and you will do a riff, but this is not the idea. So sometimes something sound like it exists, and when the keyboards come and the notes, the color happens, it's made something so different, and I like that. So um, that's the really point. Sometimes this already exists, but with uh, my musician, with what I wanted to do, with uh, my vocalist, which is unique, and my that will create something new. And the point is to really create something new or just mixing something that already exists. It's hard to go go to that point and make it yours. It's hard. I'm not thinking a lot about it. I'm composing every night at this time, and this is the kind of question I ask myself.
You know, I, I know a lot of times I'm trying to write something new. I will, you get stuck in repetition. You always have a certain way you may play a riff, or way you practice, and when you try to write something new, at least this is what I do. I will try to find the weirdest chord, or
Mm.
a weird time signature, or something to get me out of my normal thinking, and it sometimes it works.
Yeah, I can understand. The weirdest chord is it's interesting. I heard a lot of musicians that said that they used to play guitar in the dark or
Mm-hmm.
in the totally dark, just to hear could what any chord could what images it could put on your mind, and playing in the dark or playing without thinking, or playing with theory theory or not, with because in metal, the good thing in metal that you can use the musical theory, uh, or you just can just don't mind about it.
Right,
um,
you could take the theory and throw it right out the window.
yeah, yeah, but sometimes it helps and sometimes it's a break, because theory is it helps to write, but you will do something like common, like casual. So I play piano too. I learned theory a lot when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I like to use it to make my music better sometimes, and I did a lot of I don't know if it's the good solfège. Maybe you understand. It's like a rhythmic theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it helps me to speak with my musician because this is a universal speaking.
Yeah.
When you so it helps me speaking. It helps me making the music, but it's only a tool. You know, for me, theory and techniques, it's a tool to make the music better. But if I have to remove all the tool to make something new, I can do it too. But sometimes when you do a riff, you want something different. You look at the theory, you look at what you know, and you can find a way to make it different. But sometimes theory puts you in a line, and it's hard to get out of that line. I like to play with that. Sometimes I just totally throw out the window, like you said, and sometimes I work with it. It depends the kind of song, of the moment of the song. If I'm writing some keyboards, I need theory, and if I'm writing some guitars, I need rhythmic theory. But I don't want to be in on the line. Um, it's hard to manage with that, and the the stuff is that playing really fast and really tight and need a lot of work and theory. And after that, you have to throw it away. This is, I think you understood, and
Oh, definitely.
I'm working around that now.
I understand where you're coming from totally. A lot of times, when I do some writing, I'll take a section that I know that I want to be melodic, and I will use theory on that. My background riff will be based on theory. That way, if we put a melody or something over it, it'll be in key. And then sometimes later on in the song, I may want to have something that's very underground sounding and real edgy sounding riff, and I may play something chromatic, which will be consecutive notes, like what Metallica used to do quite a bit in their early stuff. And then go back into the melodic part. But that's a way to try, like you said, to make yourself a little more unique and stand out. But I think as a musician, you should know at least some theory. You got to know the rules before you can break them, I think.
Of course, that's exactly what I mean.
But
That's great. You understood everything. It's good. Sometimes in French, people don't understand me like you.
well,
So that's good.
it's like you said though. Music is the international language.
Yeah,
It really
totally
is.
agree.
Metal is the international language,
Mm.
and I have to apologize. I used to be able to speak French pretty good, and I just haven't used it in years. My my
No
great
problem. This is me. I have to improve my English, and I work on it. And I'm glad that you understand me, and I can speak to you with you for 1 hour because it's not that easy for me. In France, a lot of people don't speak English,
well,
and
it's
it's really hard.
almost been 2 hours now.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Yes,
And if you want to
Vixen.
speak to somebody who speaks English but more than me, my singer is close to me. So if you had question for her, I can. She can be here too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let me talk to her for a second.
Okay, I call her. Just wait a second.
Sure.
Irina, I want to talk to you.
Hey,
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and you?
Oh, doing pretty good today. So, how is it singing for Blazing War Machine?
Well, I'm actually pretty new in the band, around 3 months. So just getting in the vibe, to know the guys and stuff. It's working very good so far.
Oh, right
So
on.
yeah, I'm very happy, feeling very great there.
Now, there's one song, let's see, which one was it? Morbid Sexual Art. It says female vocals. Is that you?
Nope.
That's not
No,
you?
no, no.
Okay.
No, no, no. That's not me. Yeah, I don't even know the girl who did it, but I don't do clean vocals. I just do the extreme ones. So there are still no recordings yet with my vocals on it.
Oh, right on. Well, I tell you,
Yeah.
we look forward to it because I'm a huge fan of the extreme female vocalists. I think
Nice.
I,
Then you should like it.
right on. I'm glad to see that. I don't know, like Kitty Sarek, from what band was that? Decadence.
All right.
Yeah, she's a thrash metal vocalist. Awesome. Of course, Angela Gossow.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she's the big one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think more and more people are like looking into that, female like fronting like extreme bands and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, well, what are your thoughts on that? Are you happy seeing more females come out and singing extreme metal?
Mm, yeah, well, I mean, it's not my first band. I've been doing that for like 10 years now.
Oh, right on.
But not in France. In France, I recently moved here. I am originally Russian, but I was living in South America and United States actually too. So I was in bands pretty much all over the place. At first band like in France. So yeah, it's going very, very good. Like, love the guys, love the music.
Well,
Yeah,
I tell you,
fits very well.
I can't wait to hear what you're doing on the CD when y'all release it. Y'all have
Oh yeah, yeah, working on it.
any idea about the time frame y'all would release that?
Whew, no, can't speak about that. I don't know really. Working on it. It's work in progress, but no, not time days for now.
Right on.
Mhm.
Now, you said you lived in South America for a little while and the U.S. Where'd you live at in the U.S.?
Uh, well, I traveled all over the United States, but I lived in Roanoke, Virginia, and in Iowa, like in a small village in the middle of nowhere.
Wow, yeah, Iowa. That's like the state in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, great experience actually.
We back in the day, this was 2006. My wife and I were living in Las Vegas. That's where she's
All right.
from. Right now we're in Louisiana, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
And this was right after Hurricane Katrina. We had moved out to Vegas and got the band started out there. And we played a festival in Iowa. We
Okay.
traveled like 26 hours
Holy shit.
to the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I know what
And
you mean.
we were playing this festival. I think there was like 17 bands. It was a one-day event.
But was it like a metal festival?
Oh yeah, it was a metal fest. And the funny thing was that the venue had double booked it.
All right.
Yeah, so we kind of got screwed because we were all supposed to have like 45-minute sets. Well, they knocked us down to 30-minute sets.
Okay.
And because Nonpoint was playing.
All right.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Nonpoint.
Well, the name kind of rings a bell, but I don't can't think of a song.
They're a fairly big band now. At the time, they were just kind of hitting, and they were fucking assholes. They had the rock star attitude. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to talk to nobody. And whenever, we were helping, some of the other bands before and after us get their gear on and off stage. And the whole time, the fucking security out there is bitching, talking about, you don't, hurry up. You don't want to break into Nonpoint's time. And we're like, man, fuck Nonpoint. You know? But yeah, I mean, it was in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. I think it was Cedar Rapids or some shit. Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, familiar with that. Familiar cornfields and nothingness.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe a couple goats or something.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, like makes me even feel nostalgic, you know?
Yeah, like you'll see everybody you see around there has coveralls and a straw hat. Oh yeah, rednecks.
Yeah.
What's the music scene in Marseille like?
In Marseille?
Yeah.
Well, this is not a very metal town, you know, a port city, so a lot of, different people. But no, it's not the music scene is here, you know, but it's not very developed, like especially in metal, you know, or extreme metal. So, but we are working with what we have.
I got you. What's it like as far as France? I know Izakar was saying that you guys will be playing a few shows quite in the area, sort of, and like I think Switzerland he mentioned.
Yeah.
The European scene is pretty good though, right?
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah. European scene is very like out there going, yeah.
I know. I lived actually out in Germany.
Oh, okay.
For nearly 5 years.
Oh wow, no, but Germany is very metal, especially like thrash metal and stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, I know when I was living there, Germany had a lot of places to play, and Spain, the northern section of Spain was more metal than the southern section. Same thing, northern Italy. There was a couple clubs in Holland. One was in Amstel. I think there was two in Amsterdam. But I mean, the European scene was so strong.
Yeah,
The fans.
It is still, of course.
The fans there are they still live it like like it was in the 80s. I mean, you see a lot of leather patches, chains.
The fucking brutal way.
Exactly. And of course, you guys got the better fest out there, like Wacken, and the Hellfest.
Yeah.
Now, will y'all be trying to get onto the Hellfest this year?
Nope. This year, no, but hopefully next one, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, of course. Of course, it'd be great. I mean, the guys already, like Izakar told you, probably played on Hellfest. I think it was in like 2008. Well, I saw videos, heard of it, but I can't really. I'm not the one to be talking about it because I was not around back then. So, yeah. But yeah, of course, it's part of the deal, you know.
Now,
play the fest.
Let me ask you, if you guys could play any fest in the world, which fest would that be?
Well, I am not gonna. I'm gonna just answer for myself, you know. And I think it's pretty obvious answer for me. It's Wacken, you know. I think it's the strongest one of the metal. I think so. Yeah, my personal opinion is Wacken.
Yeah, that would be my dream gig too.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, where else can you go and share a stage with like Demu and then Carcass and Obituary and Halloween? I mean, that's an amazing festival.
Yeah.
Now, if there was one band on the planet that you could share a stage with for one night, who would that band be?
But again, I'm answering for myself. I am really into like Dying Fetus.
Oh, right on.
So I think I'd do it with them. Yeah. But I mean, it's not exactly the Blazing War Machine kind of music. But I mean, like Izakar was saying, we all have different kind of favorite bands, and that's why the great mixture of everyone having their own influences. So
right.
Yeah, really like that band.
So, what influenced you, early on to be an extreme vocalist, and Was there a certain band that made you a metalhead?
No, I don't think a certain band. No, and I mean, me myself, like I said, I've been living here and there, and I've been a vocalist for punk rock bands, for hardcore bands, for thrash metal bands, for like more weird experimental music, death metal bands. So I mean, I've been I've been around doing. Being a vocalist for a lot of different variations of metal. So I don't know, just I guess taking all that experience, and putting adding it on to what's going on right now, I kind of, like new blood, in the band, have something to offer for the future.
I mentioned this to Izakar earlier, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. You know, from the 90s on till now, metal has become so subgenred. I mean, they have a subgenre for pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I find it refreshing to see a lot of the bands, like I said, especially in the last couple of years, I've really noticed this, that you have like a main core sound, like you may have like your main sound may be black metal, but bands are putting in power metal and prog metal and death metal and making it more sound just like metal. Are you finding this to be the same thing?
I don't, I don't know if I really understood your question right. Actually,
well, what I'm trying to say is I'm noticing over the last couple of years that bands are starting to experiment more instead of being stuck in one subgenre, like being just a black metal band.
Yeah, but of course, it actually like makes sense, I mean, I guess there's some like bands that are determined, to be like very old school and focus on a particular, sound and be within those frames.
Right.
But I think it's pretty logical to include, since you're not the one band man, you have a lot of people, so you kind of within this band create. The mixture of all those sub-genres, and so I think it's pretty logical. Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it very refreshing myself because
Totally.
I'm old school. I'm old. It's like that little thing you see on Facebook. Back in my day, there was just one kind of metal, and it was metal.
Yeah.
It's getting back to that, and I really enjoy seeing that because. I talk, Buddy Cat, some of the people in chat can, they know I usually bitch about this quite a bit. I can't stand labels. I was joking with a band a couple weeks ago about being, what did I call them? We're blackened punk crunkcore. I mean, it gets so fucking silly with it. You know what I mean? No, at the end of every label is metal, and we are all metalheads, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, totally agree. What I meant by that is, not really the actual, phrasing of, like you said, like ta 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 ta. It's just what the people in the band bring in of their influences and what they create, the mixture of it. So it's like, but the labels, I don't know, they're a bit lame, to be labeling everything by 10 words or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So. And, I don't know what's wrong with these kids nowadays. They don't have a band name. They have a band sentence. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's this one band that sticks out in my head. I always laugh about it. Their name of their band is I Butter My Bread with Butter.
Are they punks?
I think they're an emo band. But I laugh at that name. I butter my bread with butter.
Well, I guess they wanted to be like stand out by that name. So
It does.
yeah, but yeah, it does. And you hear it and you'll remember it. So this like maybe psychological kind of trick that they made
Yeah.
to attract the audience.
Like I said, that one it sticks out in my head, and I always laugh about it. But I don't know. I guess it's equally as hard coming up with a name for a band nowadays as it is for trying to write as original music as you can.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah, put a lot of thought in it.
Now, what are your thoughts on the current state of metal? Do you think it's growing stronger?
I think it's going. I don't know if it's stronger. I mean, people who are really dedicated to it and love it. I mean, they're moving it, and it's there. Maybe it depends on location. Location wise, it's in some places stronger, in some lower. But overall, I mean, there will always be people that are doing it, and it's going. So, no matter what.
Yeah, it's something you can't stop. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let me ask you on digital versus physical CD sales. Whenever you guys release your new CD, I'm sure you're going to put it on iTunes and Amazon and places like that. Do you think it's better to have physical sales or digital sales?
I don't know. I think I would say both. Yeah. I mean, I know that most people are more focused on the digital ones right now, and easier, cheaper, or for free, and stuff. But I'm sure a lot of people still prefer to have, the physical one. So I think it has to go both ways.
Now, Vixen said in the chat room she's putting together a band, and the name of the band is "I Shot Justin Bieber in the Head, Face, Heart, and Now He's Dead." That's her band name.
Awesome. Good luck with that name.
She also wants to know if Frankie still has his stick bag from Tommy Lee.
Oh, let me put you to Izakar on that. Seriously, maybe he can answer you that question.
Okay.
Right?
It was great talking with you.
Okay. Question about Frankie.
Again.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Vixen wants to know if Frankie still has his stick bag from Tommy Lee.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Of course he has. Yeah, you heard about that. And yeah, he has this stick bag, and if you know a bit, Frankie, you know that Tommy Lee is maybe the biggest idol he can have.
Right on.
He is a big fan of glam rock and of Motley Crue, and when he did the contest, I was sure about his chance to win, maybe, or have something. And when it happened, I was so glad for him, because it's like for him it's really big to have his name said by Tommy Lee on the internet. This is the biggest stuff it can happen in his life. He's
Right.
such a big fan of Tommy Lee. He speaks of Tommy Lee since 10 years now. I heard about that. I'm not a big glam rock fan, but I know everything because of him.
Now, Vixen wants to know, did Tommy autograph it?
I think so. Yeah, I only saw it once, because Frankie just show it us once, but I think it's autographed. Yeah.
Well, right on.
And I think the biggest stuff for Frankie was that his name was on the Metal of Mayhem album. And for Frankie, it was really big,
Wow.
having his name said by his idol. And
That's got to be the coolest thing ever.
yeah, I'm glad for him, and this is really cool. And if you know my drummer, I think he really deserves it. And even if he is a really thrash metal drummer, he like to play really fast and he like to play blast beat and to hit drums really strong. When he is if he have to put a CD, we're gonna put a Motley Crue CD. It's for sure.
I've got Vixen asking another question. She wants to know, Izakar, boxers, briefs, or commando?
What's the Raves of Commando?
Yeah, she's asking if you wear boxers, briefs, or if you go commando.
I don't understand the second word. The ribs is
okay. Boxers.
Boxers. Okay. Why not? Commando. Why not too? And the second is
the other one is briefs.
Briefs.
That's like the tidy whities. It's underwear.
Yeah, I understand.
She's asking which one are you? Are you a boxer's guys, briefs, or if you are a commando?
Boxer.
She asked everybody that question.
Yeah, I didn't expect that question. Okay. So I'm much more of a boxer.
I've got to ask you. As a child, what was your favorite cartoon character?
My favorite cartoon character. Okay. Let me think. 1 minute. I don't know if you have that in United States. It was like maybe yeah, it was like Cobra,
G.I. Joe?
No, Cobra?
Cobra?
Cobra, it's an old cartoon, but it's one of the first Japanese cartoon. You don't know it's a man with a gun, with an arm in the shape of a gun, Remember that one?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it was really special. When I was young, I was really into, it was the beginning of, manga and Japanese animation. And I was really into, Dragon Ball and stuff like that, as every European people maybe. And yeah, I was really, really into that. And, I'm much more into Japanese cartoon,
Oh, okay.
Like maybe, yeah,
Yeah, the anime.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I've watched a few, like Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one. Trying to remember some of the other ones I used to watch.
Yeah, Akira.
Yeah, Akira.
That's fucking right.
Robotech.
Of course, I like that kind of cartoon.
I'm trying to remember what the other one was. There was another one that was based on it. Started with an M.
What's the aim?
Macross.
Macross. I don't know this one.
It's Macross is very similar to Robotech. In fact, they kind of go hand in hand.
Okay, this is a new wave of Robotech, maybe.
No, it's a little older actually. I think it's maybe early '90s.
Okay, early '90s. Yes, this is my age. Mm.
Well, I'm gonna throw out the links again. Of course, go to Facebook.com, Blazing War Machine.
Mm.
You've got, of course, the MySpace. You got the .com. Maybe if I talk Vixen into it nicely, she'll throw the links back up in the chat room. Maybe.
What? Back up in the chat room?
Oh, I'm trying to get Vixen to put the links back up in the chat room.
Ah, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I guess she's going to one of these days when she wakes up. But I do have some more Blazing War Machine to play also. Earlier we played, let's see, Manu Militari and Rigor Mortis. I've got Swamp, Stagnant Memories, Morbid Sexual Art. See if I can pronounce this one. Sanguinolentus Kali.
Yeah, this is from Latin, you know.
I got Key Desideratat.
Pacem.
Yeah, Pacem. And Vox Populi.
Yeah. Did you listen to Qui Desideratat Pacem?
Not yet.
Yeah, this is not the famous song, but I really like it because it's really fast and the bridge is melodic, but the song is really trashy. I like the first one, and I like the intro because on stage on this song the song is straight after the end of the previous song. You know, it's like we finish. I don't know which song is it. It depends of the day. We finish the song and we do a really mess, and then we goes into Quid Deserat Pacem. And this is a time when I used to warm up the crowd and ask them to destroy everything in the venue, and it used to work. So this one is interesting because it's a different side of Blazing War Machine maybe. If you like song like Swamp, maybe Vox Populi, it's much more into that kind of riff, a rhythmic riff with melodic stuff on it. All of these songs are interesting because this is different. And Sanguinelentus Kali is a mid-tempo song, one of the only song we have at this tempo. So I kind of like her because it's a different way of meaning aggressivity, and I think this was one of the greatest lyrics the previous singer wrote. Even if there are some mistakes in it, but the idea of this mystic figure of Kali, which is the death gods, one of the death gods, and I like this song. It's a strange song, but we composed it at the beginning, and I really like this song too. Did you listen to it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Now I got Ritz in the chat room is asking what you think about the Oriental Hijaz Kar Kurd scale in metal.
So, could you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah, it's the Hijaz Kar Kurd scale.
Izakar scale. I don't really understand what it does. It mean?
It's an Oriental scale.
Ah, okay. It's scale. Okay, I get into. I like this scale. I like this scale. It's it's like a minor harmonic scale, maybe. Um, I learned it from Symphony X. You know that band.
Right.
It's a really progressive band, and the guitar player used to really use that scale a lot of time, and that's the scale I use in Singular to Scali. So I don't know if it is exactly the same scale as you said, but it's like an Oriental scale sometimes. Sound a bit weird, or because two-step on the scale are really far. That is not usual in a normal scale, like minor, major. This one sound a bit oriental, but only on two notes, and I like that idea, and this is the idea of singulating to Scali. So I use this scale. Yes, it's interesting.
See, Rich is saying, no, not the known Oriental scale harmonic minor. It's another scale.
Okay. It's not the same. Okay.
Yeah, I like using what they call the exotic scales from time to time. Every once in a while, I'll pull out one of the Hungarian scales, and those are very strange, not very normal at all.
Yeah.
As what you would think, maybe like the major modes, like the Ionian and Aeolian and things like that.
Mm.
But it's got some very wide stretches in it.
Okay, how do you call it?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's a Hungarian scale.
Hungarian scale.
I don't remember the name of the scale though.
I don't remember.
But it's crazy.
I don't see. A scale I like too is the it's like an untone scale. It's like the scale that is using by the Meshuggah guitar player. That scale with no sharp, and every notes are a tone. In French we call it atonal. It's like Alan Osworth. Maybe you know that famous jazzman use. And this scale, Frederick Tondanda in Meshuggah use it on each song, and I like how it sounds, because this scales, for me, these scales mean doubt, trouble. It's like the idea of something not clear. It's really hard to get that kind of feeling into music, because you want to really feel something or not, or feel something that you already know. But this scale is like you doubt about it. It's really weird. This is my feeling, and so it's hard to really explain. But that scale, I don't remember the fucking name. That scale is interesting for that. And I don't used to really refer to scale when I'm composing. I got my favorite scale, and when I need to compose a lead guitar, I choose between my favorite scale. But sometimes to put something really out is interesting too. That's good to the conversation, the discussion we had 1 hour before. So when you compose, creating something different with something that already exists is not easy. So I used to go on the scale, and if my feeling tells me don't give a fuck about the theory and the melody, I go. But I used to start from the scale.
Now, Ritz came back and said that the harmonic minor scale is like, for example, Soulfly's Arise Again. He also says, but the Hijaz Kar Kurd is like the Turkish music. He says it's incredible for thrash metal, and he hasn't seen anyone use it before. And they're going to use it on their next album with Slum Park Correctional.
Okay.
But you know, some of the scales and sounds that I've been getting into here recently is the Arabian scales.
Yeah.
We got some friends that are in bands in Syria, and some of the music that they play has that Arabic feel to it, and I really like how exotic it sounds. So I think that's what I'm gonna get into learning next. Will be some of the Arabic scales, because it just sounds so, I don't know, Iron Maiden at times, I guess. You know, if you listen to like Power Slave, they had a little bit of that in Power Slave.
Okay.
But anyways, get back up here. Deanna did throw the links out, and let me read these out for those listeners that's not in the chat room today. Okay, you got facebook.com/Blazing War Machine.
Yeah, you find it? Yeah.
Yep. You can go to Big Cartel. That'll be www.blazingwarmachine.bigcartel.com/digital download. And let's see, there's also Frankie's band page, facebook.com/Frankie Costanza. Serial Drummer, which is Frankie's clothing, is page moved on me. Here we go. www.serialdrummer.com. You could also go to mediafire.com and you could download for free 4 Blazing War Machine tunes, some pics, and a video for free. And you can also go to reverbnation.com/Blazing War Machine and check them out there as well. Now, Izakar, I want to thank you for being on the show.
You too.
And really, really excited to have you on here. And thank you again for rescheduling. Love what you guys are doing in Blazing War Machine. I mean, it is really brutal. It's really good music.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me to be here. And I'm really glad that you like it. And I really hope that Blazing War Machine will go to the United States as soon as possible. And really thank you.
We want you guys over here because we want you to experience, you know, the American crowds, and let the American crowd definitely experience Blazing War Machine, because I think you guys will make a huge impression here.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much.
If you would stay on the line just for a second.
Okay.
Okay, metalheads out there, this has been the Bullshit with Bob show, right here on Brutal Metal Radio. We've been talking with Izakar, and if I pronounce her name right, it's Beatrice.
Yeah, it's his name on the internet, but in the band, we call her Irina. You know, Irina.
Irina.
This is Irina.
Irina.
This is, yeah, you will see on the website. And she's the one who will contact you, maybe. She's such a great person.
I can tell. I can't wait to hear what she sounds like on you guys' recordings.
Okay.
It's like I told her, I think it's a great thing seeing more females in extreme metal vocals.
I'm glad to hear that too, and you will see she's really surprising us, and this is not the kind of female vocal that you will hear everywhere, and for the band this is a really good thing to have met that girl, because she will get some fresh stuff into the music, and she can do a lot of different stuff. You will see that a female singer can do more than clean vocals and such as the different stuff and really personal stuff. This is really interesting.
Well, again, Izakar,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on the show, and thank everyone out there that tuned in. We got some more Blazing War Machine songs, so stick around. I've got Swamp, Stagnant Memories, Morbid Sexual Art, Sanguinolentus Kali, Key Desiderate Pacum, and Vox Populi. So stick around, metalheads. This is Brutal Metal Radio, and here comes some more music.